Hi and welcome to Devlog for Devolution magazine. We're here at Fortress Festival 2024 and first up is one of the most exciting bands to have come across my inbox in the last year. It's Obsidian Kingdom. Hi guys.
Oh, hey.
How you doing? Yes, as soon as I saw your name on the bill, it was like, I've heard the latest album, but it gave me an excuse to do a deep dive on everything else. So I want to start off this interview by saying, you've been described as having a sound that is undescribable by some media. Could you attempt to describe your sound?
Yeah. Do you want to give it a go?
Sure, yeah. I think it's very pretentious to say that it's indescribable. I mean, it's certainly some kind of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Maybe some progressive,
Yes.
extreme rock and metal thing. So it's just that I think it covers a lot of the ranges of all these styles. But I'd say it's like progressive rock, metal, art rock.
Absolutely.
And that's that. We do have some jazzy vibes, some drones, which are, well, infrequent, not even rare. I mean, you hear more and more drone brought into black metal these days, and we're not that that cool.
What I think is wonderful about your band is you do fit in on a bill like Fortress with black metal acts, and I can also see you play Tangent, or you've played art installations, things like that. You seem to be a band for all occasions, which is fantastic. One thing I wanted to ask you about was in 2012, I believe, you were commissioned by the Spanish Cultural Department to do music for a silent movie.
That was later on. That was like 6 years ago.
Right.
Yes, they were doing a cycle. They do this every year. Outdoors, they play. They do cinema, and it's always theme based. And that year it was like occultism and creepy stuff. So somebody at the organization thought, "Hey, I know a creepy band," and so they gave us a ring and they commissioned like the whole soundtrack, and it was a blast. It was incredible.
It sounds like a dream job.
Yeah, but it was a ton of work for only one gig. I mean, we wrote the score, we rehearsed it for months just to do one gig.
Right.
The gig turned out perfect. Thank God.
Did you get it recorded or?
We did, but like we placed the camera in a position where the only thing you can see is the back of a guy who was watching the movie. So that's out, and we do have the audio, but we haven't released it.
Right.
I thought we should keep it that way. That magic. If you were there, you were there. If you weren't.
That's a beautiful thing as well to have, isn't it? Where it's just like a once in a lifetime. You have that moment. Awesome. So I've noticed like your Mantis album. That was a concept album, correct? What was the concept behind it? Was it quite, because there's a track about cinnamon rolls on it. There's
bowls, but
bowls, yes, cinnamon bowls.
What are cinnamon balls? Nobody knows.
They sound delicious.
I'll let Isam answer this one.
How much can we tell? Because
I don't know.
I mean, it's let's say it is based on a text, a previous work of art, and the album follows that text and takes direct inspiration in many different ways from the text. For instance, the sentence "cinnamon balls" is directly extracted from that.
Right. Okay.
But we as a band decided to never publicly say like, "Hey, this is the original inspiration," because we think it's way, like, the clues are there, are very clear. Like if you look a little bit at the artwork and a little bit at like the Obsidian Kingdom wants to thank to. Like all the clues are there, but I think it's very magical when someone who is into the music and wants to go a bit deeper, wants to play this game with it's a bit the death of the author. I can tell you now, and you'll be like, "Oh, cool, that." But if you choose to engage with it, I think it's a way of rediscovering. And for instance, with friends, I've told them like there's a big clue there. And then they came to me, they're like, oh, it was that, and it was that, and that was that, and that, and yeah, let's not take the magic away in this interview, but just know that if you want to have your little escape room with Mantis, you can.
That's brilliant.
I also wanted to say that the Easter egg is a great thing. I love it. Not many people know about it. I think this is the most we have said ever on a public interview.
Oh, I'm very honest.
But it's been a lot of years, so yeah, nobody cares anymore. But I think that like the goal was to keep the focus out of the game. Like the Easter egg's a plus, but we didn't want to make an album about that other work of art.
Yes.
So we wanted to make our own thing. And if you want to establish that connection, it's all right. But if you don't, as 90% of the people who listen to the album didn't, then it's all right as well. That's the beauty of it.
It's so from going from that high concept album there, and then we're into the latest album, The Meat Machine.
Not so high concept.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is it?
No, I think there is always a concept, or at the very least, once we have all the songs, we try to find a common theme.
Yeah, an overarching umbrella.
Yeah, but no, it certainly isn't a concept album in the way Mantis is.
Yeah.
Very much.
Or A Year with No Summer.
Yeah, A Year with No Summer
also
was very
had like
conceptual.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last one wasn't. It was very schizophrenic. And, so like every corset we tried to put around it, it just broke it. It kept exploding forever, that album.
It's an incredible record. It's definitely one of my favourite discoveries. I didn't discover it the first time it came out. It was a later on thing, but I'm a big fan of the work of Trent Reznor and of like Perfect Circle. I can hear a bit of that in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the kind of a lot of stuff in there I wasn't expecting to hear as well, which is brilliant. That a band like yours can just keep the listener on their toes, because you don't know, there's not a typical song. You don't know, oh, that's typical Obsidian Kingdom, because there is no typical Obsidian Kingdom, which is fantastic. I love that.
It's very hard to work with that, because like, what do we do next?
Yeah, sure.
We don't know. Nobody knows. Will the people who like our previous work like our next work? We don't know.
It's always
Maybe
a risk.
Not.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much so. Like, it's a commercial suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about it is, even though it's wildly eclectic, it all sounds like you, which I think is the overall aim, isn't it? It's like experiment as much as you want, but it's like Ulver. They've done about 1 million styles, but you know it's Ulver, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. However, like, if you heard Messe, for example, without knowing that it's over, would you have known that it's over?
I probably have not.
No. Right?
No.
I mean, of course, Chris's voice is so recognizable, but he also sings in other projects.
Yeah,
You know?
true that.
So it's a tricky thing, like, and also I like. Let me tell you this. Like, I was already a fan of Nadia. I didn't know about the other one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I watched him interview to Jazz Coleman, which is
Oh,
like, I'm a
thank
very
you.
big fanboy of them, and it was lovely.
That was my fourth
yeah.
ever interview.
Oh man, it was like, he was so relaxed.
I know.
I love that.
Well, we went to
that chicken place. I thought you were bringing chicken wings.
Well, you see, I thought at Black Metal Festival they won't want to talk about food. But,
We want to talk about
yes, we've been to a gig the night before that interview, so we went to see Witch Fever, and yeah, that kind of got it relaxed. But that was my fourth ever interview.
It's incredible.
But this isn't about me.
I wanted to talk about Killing Joke as well,
Yeah.
like as a band that has
incredible.
tried to go everywhere, that have, Jazz personally has done from classical music to,
Oh, he's
they
incredible.
have like that 80s vibe at the beginning, and they go like, one of my favorite albums is Brighter Than a Thousand Suns. And
Yes.
it isn't one of their most popular,
Yeah.
right? I think that is the example of a band that's managed to keep their identity through their stylistic changes.
Absolutely. Well, with someone like Jazz, like he's such an authoritative figure, isn't he? Yeah. And look, I'm lucky to say that. Yeah, I've seen him since then, and it's fantastic. So. Yeah, Killing Joke are a massive inspiration, and I should have known there'd be an inspiration on you guys because I can hear it now.
Yeah. Most definitely, you with No Summer, like I feel a lot of those
man.
vibes.
Yeah, man. So, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about, because my other job, apart from doing this, is I'm an electronic music producer.
Okay.
And I saw your remix EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I listened to that, and you've got some of my favourite producers on there. You know, Dr.
Okay,
Octopus, like DJ Octopus from Dalek is one of the tracks from. It's like on the
Who's the producer? Come again?
DJ Octopus.
DJ Octopus.
Yes,
He's from Dalek.
Dalek,
Yeah,
yes, Dalek, yeah.
That's him.
I love Dalek, so it was a nice thing to find because I was like, oh. And I had to send it to my production partner. I was just like, because we're working on something at the moment that's kind of similar. And I sent that to him. I said, listen to this. This is awesome. So, yeah.
Nobody ever brings that up to us. And I think
Remember?
and I think Sam and I, we kind of managed that ourselves.
Oh,
because
yeah.
we were like the electronic music nerds back in the
Good.
day. Like we had these metalheads that we were doing music with.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we like this other thing that nobody else seems to like. How can we merge it somehow?
It literally spoke to me because that's literally what I'm doing on my project right now. I'm doing an album exactly the same, but the other way around. I'm getting metal people
To play
with a dance band.
beats?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
so it's coming on. It's going to be work in progress. Again, this interview isn't about me. So what's next after? Because Beat Machine came out a couple of years ago now. So is there
4 years.
Is there new material?
There is, but it's already in the making. Like it's too early. Like for many reasons, the band is in a process of regeneration.
Sure.
So we've gone through a lot, and we haven't had the time to put this together yet. So there is a lot of material, and there's going to be a new album for sure.
Awesome.
But we don't know when, we don't know how, and we don't know anything about it.
Oh,
But
definitely.
stay tuned.
Right, well, it's been an absolute honour to meet you guys today.
Likewise.
I have an amazing gig player, and I will, for one, will be down front. So, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for
Thank
meeting
you.
me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.